Been 5 days since a despicable assassination of a Russian diplomat in Ankara, Russian ambassador to Turkey, Andrei Karlov. The Jaish al-Fatah armed coalition has claimed responsibility for this crime. At least this is information that comes from the Middle East media, but some information agencies still deny. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that assassination of Russia's representative in Ankara was aimed at undermining Russian-Turkish relations and thwarting effective fight against terrorism in Syria. Russia sees this murder as an act of terrorism. The UN Security Council also recognized Mr. Karlov's assassination as a terrorist attack and called for a thorough investigation into the incident. Among those who condemned the terrorist attack against the diplomat were John Stoltenberg, NATO Secretary General, Federica Mogherini, High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, François Hollande, President of France, newly elected US President Donald Trump, as well as British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson. The Council of the League of Arab States condemned the assassination of Andrei Karlov as well, Russian ambassador to Turkey. The Arab League condemns act of terrorism in any form and urges international community to join efforts in decisive actions aimed at countering this detestable phenomenon. It is possible to defeat terror without joining our efforts, or are we all forced to leave, taking this evil as a given? In this case, what kind of world do we live in? Today people are being killed all over the planet. Can we join our efforts? Where is the line between tolerance and, I would even say, excessive tolerance and cowardice and indifference, which allows doing evil things and committing unlawful acts? I ask myself, is it possible to tolerate horrific publication of some Western media? For example, the one in the New York Daily News that said that Ambassador death was justice being served for alleged sins of the Putin regime. Moreover, the columnist compared Andrei Karlov to Ernst von Rath, diplomat of Hitler Germany, who was murdered in 1938 in Paris by a Polish Jew seeking revenge for the deportation of Jews to Poland. This scumbag should be put into madhouse. His place is in the court as well. The Russian Foreign Ministry has assessed this gentleman. As for the comparison of Ambassador Andrei Karlov to Ambassador to the Third Reich, I can only say one thing. The chief editor of the newspaper that had published this xenophobic article justifying the terrorist attack should demand a letter of apology. Once again, Russia, in Vladimir Putin's words, proposes to join efforts. The main goal is to defeat the so-called Islamic State and its allies, who are nothing but a bunch of murderers and scumbags who consider themselves the representatives of the entire Muslim world. Behead innocent children, shoot diplomats in the back in a despicable and cowardly manner. Over the recent years, Andrei Karlov focused most of his efforts on the contribution to the Syrian settlement and stability in the region. He understood that stability in this region is a part of the global stability in many ways. Yes, it was not easy. He was taking extraordinary steps to change the Russian-Turkish relations, trying to transform them from hostile to friendly once again. This is a credit to Andrei Karlov. His efforts are highly appreciated by the President of the Russian Federation and the government of our country, which awarded him the highest title of Hero of Russia. Russia's history will record Andrei Karlov's name as an example of honest and selfless service to the motherland, loyalty to the profession he devoted his entire life to. Thank you.
Chancellor and all attendees here. Our sincere and heartfelt condolences to the Russian nation, to the Russian people of Australia. An absolute barbaric act against an ambassador of Russia in Turkey. It's a shock to the world. It's a shock to the Russian people and to all of us who really search for a peaceful way of life. Unfortunately, there's a lot of violence in the Middle East, and we definitely stand by Russia, who are heading the front against the violence in the Middle East. And we also definitely wish to see peace amongst the Syrian people, and on behalf of Golden Dawn in Greece and the Hellenic Nationalists of Australia, we like to sincerely wish peace amongst everyone in the Middle East, and most importantly, our sincere condolences to the family of Andrei Karlov. Unfortunately, they're having a very dark Christmas festive period. Our condolences to the family and friends of a wonderful patriot of Russia. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure that representatives of Australian political parties are here present to express their support. And it's a pleasure to invite to the microphone Dr. Jim Saleam from the Australia First Party.
As a student of terrorism and the war in Syria, what has been despicable for me is the fact that for a very long time Australian media and Australian political organisations, generally speaking, sided with the terrorists. And they did this for a lot of reasons, and they looked forward to the destruction of the government of Syria led by President Assad. And from the point of view of myself and many other people in Australia, it's abundantly clear that it has been the government of Syria and the intervention of Russia in this war that has done the most to curtail terrorism. And I think all Australians need to unite to impress upon all Australian politicians and leaders that the real fight against terrorism is being carried on by Russia and not by Australia and our so-called allies in this thing. That is the despicable thing of this war, and the ambassador is probably dead because of support given to the terrorists by people who are called Australia's allies. Okay. Thank you.
Finally somebody said that.